said boutique. Sorry, she'll have to go back on the road. How much are they charge for that? $6.99 per bottle, probably. This smaller.
This is Wholefoods store. Look at this. Impressive. Amazing. Forbidden rice.
And look.
They got raw red kidneys.
It isn't bleached. Look, quinoa coffee. Their white rice is organic. Means it hasn't been bleached. Like every single basmati rice in the UK. How do they do it? Rainbow quinoa.
Rainbow quinoa.
Yeah.
Red quinoa. Quinoa.
That's when we get the kids to eat the vegetables.
Make it a weird shape.
Look. They're in with it.
Yeah.
Same with this.
Raisins. Dark chocolate malt balls. Raisins. Dark chocolate raisins. Yogurt raisins. Dark chocolate almonds. Dark chocolate chipotle almonds.
No. You ever seen the jackfruit? That sounds like it.
Is that the one that when you open it up it smells really bad?
I think so.
Yes, I think it is.
Durian is the
Apparently it's supposed to taste really nice though.
Red bananas.
amazing. Coffees. soups. European, Asian. Latin. We found more than one store, we found a few stores. International Drive, of course, where you can see where those wheel and the spin dryer is. We're down Turnkey. And we're looking for Walmarts. We found a number of other shops here as well, and by our Guru map, Walmarts is up here. Daughter sees a Dollar Tree shop, and
Yeah,
of course.
she walks in.
Oh, ding, 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 the old lights in at Raingo. So we got a stop off here. It's Turkey Lake Road. Right, the Dollar Tree. It's quite a sizable store. Everything $1.
Excuse me. Walmart Pop Tarts.
Where?
Second Walmart. I'm gonna go to Walmart and I'm on It's about size still.
Why, do they go in the microwave or something?
It's okay. You know you can eat them cold.
Oh,
That's
that's a warm wash, you said.
a warm.
Right, there's the 2 in 1.
That's what I said. It's that one. We're catching the bus back then. How far? To Asda's.
We're coming back this way, so might as well get it on the way back.
Most of we're walking.
No, we were coming past the store. We've got to go down to another store and we're coming back this way. Yes, we've got to do that as well, so otherwise you'll just have to wait until she's got the pass and come back down. Now this is impressive for what they've got. Makes the pound shop at home look silly. Amazing. Thank you.
Donald Duck for $1.
Pomegranate juice. Pomegranate. Raspberry lemonade. Milkshakes. Water. Melon. Lemonade. Sweet tea.
I got the perfect present for the neighbours.
What?
Right, they're getting their stuff ready for July the 4th here. TNT
We'll
fireworks.
still go to the pounds thing and collect a couple of bits. I still haven't seen any bus stop. Have to find it first and move it.
And in front of us is Walmart. This is their car park. A sizable car park. Right, this place is huge. When I say huge, it's, you know, huge. They've got a whole aisle for fishing. They have.
No, 10:20.
10:20, so we're in the next 20 minutes.
Get off me, bro. I know I'm
that one. What is it?
Patch.
For what? Or you put it on yourself?
It's a jacket.
Yeah. There's things I like are only 220.
Oh, you've got expensive.
I mean, you can always just buy a painting for $5,000. That's what fake stuff is for. That's what online shopping is for.
Because it's not just like a little. I have to look online and see if you can find them
Socket to
Hey, Dad. You're rapping, child.
And here you have a clip clean service where the birds come down and clean your pushchair for you while you're on the rides.
I mean, and then loading it.
They know messy babies when they see them.
I don't see Kevin, Mom.
It's a free service. Stay there, stay there. I'm not ready yet. There you go. Okay.
You want to get on?
You want to get on, Chanel?
I'm not sitting on that, it's not Harley.
It's not a Harley. That's what I'm called.
It's against my religion, sorry.
There's an Sonic. Far better. It's not going to go far. It's got no leads for the plug. No, it's no leads.
some for you. I'm gonna give you a drink away first because I'm gonna dance with you. You can dance with your drink. Okay. I'm gonna show you a little step. You're gonna do that with me. I'm gonna sing a birthday song for you, okay? Okay, you're gonna do this. Right, left. Come on. Right, left. Yeah. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Thank you. Yahoo.
Has this thing where she needs to take a picture or video of everything.
Oh, just as well. Camera was running in my pocket.
To the poachers, these beautiful animals represent only profit. Rhino and elephant are slaughtered for their horns and eyes. Cheetahs and lions are killed for their coats. And antelope and gazelle are trapped and snared, their meat digging the soul. It is my job to protect this reason. That is why I ask all of you to please join us in our battle against poaching. Wamacho, Wawajangili, grow eyes to poaching. Only by working together can we make this Harambe is a safe haven for all its animals. I was born here. In my whole life I was told that what you see with your eyes, you value with your heart. It is my hope that what you see today, you will treasure in your heart forever. Karibuni Harambe, Rizal na wanyama wa porini. Welcome to Harambe Wildlife.
I knew it. You don't sit, you'll be on the next track. I gotta take some meat. Me and you like that. How many here? Two? Number 1? Number 9. 9 on the yellow. How many here? 2 number 9 on the yellow. How many here? 6, 7, 8 on the yellow. 7 and 8. 7 and 8. How many here?
Aboard, you guys, and we're going to be going here through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, and it does look like we have the all clear. So we're just going to dive right on in today. This reserve was established in 1971. There are lots of wild animals in here. Please make sure that you guys don't call out to these animals at any time. No hooting, hollering, snapping, clapping, nothing like that. They can all come pretty close to the truck. Also, remain seated at all times. There's no standing throughout any point of the safari, and hold on to everything that you want to keep because they can't turn around and retrieve any items. Now here in the Little Ituri Forest, these animals are very good at a natural camouflage, so hopefully we will get a pretty good chance to see some out here. Over here on the right hand side, you can barely see some black and white striped pattern legs back there. These do belong to the okapi. You'll definitely be able to see them as we do come around this turn right here. Just give me a sec. Now, because of that stripe pattern on their legs, a lot of times people think that the okapis are related to zebras, but they're not. Their closest known relative is actually the giraffe. Now, some similar features that the okapis and the giraffes do share are very long tongues. Their tongues can actually be all the way up to 18 inches long, which is so long that the okapi can even lick their own eyeball. The okapi is also the only known living relative of the giraffe. Now coming up here on this hill straight ahead, there's two more animals. The copper colored one is a bongo, and the tan one behind the bongo is some greater kudu there. Now both male and female bongos do have horns, and those horns do grow backwards like that to help them navigate through the pretty thick brush here in the Little Aturi Forest. Up there you guys can see those greater kudu as well. Now the greater kudu, you can tell that those ones are females because they don't have any horns on top of their heads. Only the males are going to have horns. But speaking of horns, look right back there, looking right at us, is a black rhinoceros standing right by that clay wall there. There's another one laying down over here on this side as well. Black rhinos, they're super large animals. They can actually be all the way up to around 3,000 pounds when they are fully grown. Now they are nocturnal, or they're not nocturnal, they're very large animals as well. Their horns are keratin, same keratin as human fingernails and the human hair. There's only about 5,000 of them left living out in the world, though they're an extremely endangered species that we do have. Now down here are some more of those bongos. Now it is known that if you guys ever do get a chance to pet a bongo, your hand will turn the same color as their coat, which is pretty cool. And then you can see a greater kudu over there on the right hand side as well. Now the bongos, they have a nickname, which is the ghost of the forest, and that's just because they're really hard to find out in the wild. Alrighty, you guys, well, we are now headed on out of the Little Aturi Forest, but as we do head on out, look down here to the left. There is a saddle-billed stork there. Now just sitting down, their feet do go out in front of them. They're 5 feet tall with a 9-foot wingspan. They're super large birds. Tell the difference between males and females. Females have yellow eyes, males have brown eyes. Alright, well, we are now headed on out of the Little Aturi Forest, and we're going to continue our adventure down here today into the Safi River. Now, the Safi River is normally home to a lot of territorial animals, so we will get a pretty good chance to see some of them out and about here. Just make sure that you guys do have your eyes peeled. You really never know where these animals might be. Now, right here in the water are some Nile hippopotamus. They're super large animals. They can weigh all the way up to around 5,500 pounds, and they are fully grown. Now, they are nocturnal. They do spend a large majority of their days resting, and at night they will go along the shorelines in search for food. Now they can stay underwater for up to 8 minutes at a time, very good at controlling their breathing. Hippos have a group name which is a bloat. So this is a bloat of some Nile hippopotamus here. Now on the island and behind are some pink-backed pelican. Now the pink-backed pelican, they get their name because during mating season they do get a rosy pinkish color on their backs. Now they are the smallest of the pelican species, but they can actually still have a wingspan of up to 8 feet long. A lot of times out in the wild they do like to nest in pairs, but when they are nesting in pairs they also like to nest out in larger colonies as well. Now down there, another Nile hippo. Now when they are laying out in the sun, they might actually look like a reddish purplish color. That's actually the color of their sweat. That's going to come out and act like a natural sunscreen for them. Another hippo down there in the water as well. And then down here are some Nile crocodile that you can see. Now these Nile crocodile, they are super large animals. Now they can be anywhere between 16 and 20 feet long when they are fully grown, so very, very large. They're very strong as well. They can actually have a bite force of up to 2,000 pounds per square inch, so strong that they can actually bite straight through bone. Now you guys can tell that these are crocodile and not alligators because crocodiles have a U-shaped mouth. Alligators are going to have a U-shaped mouth. Now the Nile crocodile, they do also have a very toothy grin, which means that you guys can actually still see their teeth when their mouths are closed. And mother crocodiles, they do like to leave their babies inside of their mouths until they're ready to go out into the wild on their own. Now that's because right after they hatch, they're not really large enough or strong enough to go out and defend themselves, so the adults are going to do that to help protect their young a lot of times. Now when mother crocodiles actually do lay eggs, they can lay anywhere between 10 and 100 eggs all at once, so there are lots of babies that they're going to have. Here on the right hand side, this is a baobab tree. Now the baobab tree has a pretty cool nickname, which is actually the upside down tree, because it might look like it was planted upside down. However, it's actually just leafless about 9 months out of the year. And since it is leafless about 9 months out of the year, it does conserve a lot of water, which makes it very rich in nutrients on the inside. It's actually how it gets its other very commonly known nickname, which is the tree of life. Now we're going to be entering right here into the savannah, home to a lot of very common animals. I can already see a giraffe down here. We'll get to see some cheetahs, maybe some rhinos. But also do pay attention to the colors, the plants, the land, the safari. It is very similar to safaris that animators and filmmakers took back in the 1990s when they were creating the animated movie The Lion King. Is anybody excited for that new Lion King movie coming out? Yeah, a couple of you guys. Well, I'm excited for it, and hope you guys will get to see these animals in that movie, and now you're just going to know a little bit more about them. Now you guys can see these giraffe. These are Maasai giraffe. I know on the animal spotting guide above your heads, it does say that they are reticulated giraffe. Now you guys can still find reticulated giraffe here on Disney property. They're actually just found over at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. Now these Maasai giraffe, you can tell that they are the Maasai because of the irregular pattern that they do have on their skin. And the word Maasai does mean messy, and that's just referring to their spotted pattern. Now laying down right there under the tree in the shade are some African wild dogs. Now the African wild dogs are actually known to be the most successful predators here in Africa. They're actually more successful predators than lions. Now they are family oriented and they do like to travel in clans. They also do have a pretty cute nickname, which is actually the painted dog, and that's because of the pattern that they do have on their coats. Now right back here we got some sable antelope. Sable antelope, they're very territorial animals. They're back there to your left, over your left shoulder. Now as they mature though, their coats do get darker. Males can turn a jet black color when they are fully grown, and they have lifespan around 17 to 18 years long. And over here, pretty close to another Maasai giraffe here as well. Now giraffes, they do like to use these large cone-shaped structures right here. These are termite mounds. Now termite mounds are made out of saliva, dirt, and dung. A lot of times larger animals like elephants and giraffes like to use them as their natural back scratchers. And get as hard as concrete out here in the African sun. Sometimes some smaller animals will use them as standing posts so they can get a little bit of a vantage point so they can look out for their predators. Pretty young giraffe over here, a couple months old. Now when these Maasai giraffe are fully grown, they can actually be all the way up to around 18 feet tall. So rather large. But when baby giraffes are born, they're already born at 6 feet tall. Some of the first things that baby giraffes do experience coming into the world though is a 6-foot drop to the ground. And mother giraffes, they do have a very lengthy pregnancy. They're going to be pregnant for just about 15 months, so a little bit over a year long. Tons more giraffes over there as well. There's actually some baby giraffes too. Now these gray animals up here are white-bearded wildebeest. Now the white-bearded wildebeest, they can be found in very large numbers out in the wild. You can actually find them in herds of up to 1.5 million at one time, which is a lot of wildebeest. But they do like to travel a lot as well. They can actually travel anywhere between 500 and 1,000 miles per year. Couple more giraffes there. Also behind those giraffes, and there are some Ankole cattle. You can kind of see their massive horns. Hopefully we'll get to see them as we go around onto the other side though. Now giraffes, they do spend a large majority of their days eating. They can actually eat anywhere between 16 and 20 hours a day. Now since they do spend a large majority of their days eating, they don't get as much sleep as you might think. Giraffes only need anywhere between 30 and 60 minutes of rest, and they do achieve those small amounts of rest just by taking little naps in intervals around 2 to 3 minutes at a time. They just doze off, then wake right back up, continue doing what they do best, which is normally going to be eating. You can see those Ankole cattle over there now. Now from tip to tip, their horns can be anywhere between 6 and 8 feet long, so about 3 to 4 feet on each side of their heads. Now their horns, they are semi-hollow with a honeycomb structure on the inside. And that honeycomb structure does help with blood flow to help keep them cool on rather hot days. They're also seen as a form of wealth here in Africa, so it's kind of like the more Ankole cattle that you do have, the wealthier you may seem at times. To help keep them safe at night, they're actually kept inside of things called manadas, which are a thorny brush-like structure that just warns off their predators and helps keep them safe. There's also an African elephant. It's going to be coming up over here on the right-hand side. African elephants are known to be the largest land mammals. They can reach heights of all the way up to around 13 feet tall, and they can weigh anywhere between 14 and 16,000 pounds, so super large. You guys aren't going to be able to tell that this is an African elephant because of the shape of its ears. African elephants do have very large ears, larger than Asian elephants, so that's how you guys can actually tell the two of them apart. Now, African elephants, they're super large, but a lot of times they are being poached out there for their ivory tusks. A lot of times ivory is going to be made into some pretty fancy jewelry or really nice china. So if you guys do want to help make sure that we are taking care of these animals, it's pretty simple. Just don't buy anything that does contain ivory, which you guys probably don't do already. So you're already one step ahead, but it's always good to double check. Now we are going to be headed right on over a bridge up here. Now, as I mentioned, this reserve was established in 1971, so this bridge is one of those original things that we still have here. Now, I know it does look a little rough around the edges. It has had a couple years of some wear and tear, but they just tell us to take it pretty slow. They say that it can hold the weight of about 1 truck. So we're just going to keep gliding right on over it here. I also like to say that if it's not broke, don't fix it, and it's not broken yet, so it still gets the job done. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just making sure you guys are still awake back there. Now over here on the right hand side, you guys can see these red clay pits starting to form. We're going to be driving through them right here. A lot of times elephants do like to hang around these red clay pits. They actually do eat red clay, giving them minerals that they don't get in their everyday diets. Right down here on the right hand side, you guys can see where elephants like to take their trunks and their tusks, kind of dig away at that red clay. Also some elephant footprints down here on the left hand side, so it looks like they might, oh yeah, another African elephant. A lot of times out here in Africa, elephants do like to travel in herds. Most herds of elephants that you're going to see, though, are female elephants. Elephants are a female-dominant species. Now, the male elephants, they are going to be kicked out of the herds, or they do leave on their own sometimes when they reach maturity or around the ages of 13. But don't feel too bad for the guys, though. Sometimes out in the wild, male elephants will actually form their own herds, and those are going to be called the bachelor herds. Now, mother elephants have a very lengthy pregnancy. They're going to be pregnant for about 22 months, so almost 2 years long. But their babies can be born up to 300 pounds. They definitely do have a lot of growing to do in that 22-month period. Now, elephants are very strong animals. They actually do have more muscles in their trunks than us humans have in our entire bodies. They also do have a very sensitive skin, so a lot of times they do use dirt or mud to grab off the ground, flinging that up onto their backs, using it like a natural sunscreen. Now look over here on the right, you can see those white-bearded wildebeest, but that little small antelope there, it kind of looks like a s'more on legs. That's a springbok antelope. They are only 3 feet tall when they're fully grown, but they can jump 6 feet up in the air when they're standing completely still. When they're running or moving forward, they can leap up to 13 feet. So they're very small but very mighty animals. Now coming up here on the left-hand side are some greater flamingo. The greater flamingo, they're the largest of the flamingo species, but when they hatch, they're actually small, light gray, fluffy birds. They don't get the pinkish color until they start consuming their diets for a couple of months. Now their diets do mostly contain shrimp, and beta-carotene found within shrimp will actually give them that pinkish tone. If you guys do look down here what these flamingos are standing on, they're actually standing on the largest hooded Mickey that you'll find here in Animal Kingdom. Now, the flamingos, they can be all the way up to around 5 feet tall, weighing in at around 9 pounds. Flamingos also do have a group name, and the group name for the flamingos is a flamboyance. That was a flamboyance of some greater flamingo there. Here on the left-hand side, you can see this warden's post as well. Now, that warden's post, it does have elephant tusks and rhinoceros horns. Now, that's just there as a reminder to really make sure that we are taking care of these animals out in the wild. Both elephants and rhinos are an extremely endangered species that we do have here in Africa. Now, you can also see a white rhinoceros all the way down that pathway there. We are going to be headed on over to that side, so hopefully we will get to see them a little bit closer. Now, both rhinos and elephants, their numbers are actually dwindling down so significantly every day that they could both actually be gone within the next 5 to 10 years if we don't start making a difference for those animals now. That's how endangered they actually are. And I know I want generations to come to be able to see these animals out in the wild for themselves, and not only at school and in textbooks. So we really do need to make sure that we are spreading awareness against poaching. Kind of hard to see here. Look where I'm pointing first. All the way in the back, there are 2 cheetahs laying down on the ground. You can just see their gold coats just barely across in that little cluster of those 3 trees back there. Now, cheetahs, they are a part of the large cat family. They're the smallest of the large cat. They're also the only large cat that does not roar. Cheetahs are the only large cat that's going to purr. Cheetahs are also known to be the fastest land mammals. They can reach speeds from 0 to 60 in just 3 seconds, so super fast. The fastest cheetah that was ever recorded reached speeds of up to 72 miles per hour. And once they are at their top speed, they can hold that speed for about 30 seconds at a time. And cheetahs, they also do have a black diamond shape around their eyes. That black diamond shape actually does help them deflect the sun, allowing them to go out and hunt their prey more efficiently. It's going to kind of act like natural sunglasses for those animals. Now this large collection of rocks here to the left is called a kopie. A lot of times animals do like to hang around these kopies. They do provide a lot of shade for the animals, helping them stay cool on rather hot days. They also do provide a little bit of a higher ground so animals can go up here, get a good look out for their predators or a good look out for their prey. And you can see those white rhinoceros over there again. There's also a bontebok right back there on the hill. Now the white rhinoceros, they got their name from the Afrikaans word vite, which is spelled with a V, and that does mean wide, and that was referring to the shape of their mouths. But when they were saying the word the white rhinoceros, it sounded like they were saying the white rhinoceros, so they actually just got their name from a mispronunciation. They're not even a white color, they're actually more of a light gray. Now, kind of hard to tell what these are here as well. Look where this tree is right here in the center. Right down to the left, those are some warthogs. They kind of look like hairy rocks there. Now the warthogs, they do have pretty small legs. They can reach speeds of up to 35 miles per hour when they're running, so they're pretty fast for how small they are. When they're running, though, they might look like they're doing more of a hopping method with their tails pointed straight up in the air. They do have those razor-sharp tusks, which allow them to dig burrows. Once they are done digging their burrows, they do like to back into them, leaving their tusks pointed outwards, kind of like a defense mechanism against their predators. Now the bontebok is a small antelope right here. They're part of the species survival plan because there was only known to be about 17 of them left out in the wild at one point. Now there's a little bit under 1,000, so they are doing a lot better. Those rhinos over there, 5,000 pounds, and they're fully grown. Their horns are keratin, same keratin as the black rhinos, same as human fingernails, human hair. Rhinos don't have that grand of eyesight. They can really only see about 10 to 12 feet in front of them. Their skin's really thick. It's up to about 3 inches thick. And down there on the ground, those are ostrich eggs. Now, a lot of times the ostrich like to hang out this pretty thick brush right here, but the average human can actually stand on top of an ostrich egg and it will not break. That's how strong those shells are. Ostriches are very strong animals as well. They actually do use their own legs as their own defense mechanism against their predators. The ostrich can actually kill a predator with just one kick. And that does include a human, so always be careful when you're around the ostrich. Super fast animals, speeds of up to 40 miles per hour. They're very intelligent animals as well, but the ostrich actually do have rather small brains. Now the ostrich brain is actually smaller than its eyeball. Now we have left the savannah and we're here in Magadi Glen. Magadi Glen is just home to a lot of really rich vegetation. It's a very beautiful area here on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, and it is also the newest addition. The Disney Conservation Team teamed up with the Harambe Wildlife Team. Bringing all of those donations together, they're actually able to build this new beautiful area here. Just very lush, very green, and it does get a little bit bumpy right here. Alright guys, well these gates right here do mean that we have reached the end of the reserve today. Did everybody get to see some pretty cool animals out there? Yeah. Awesome. Well, all that other though, it is possible due to the Disney Conservation Fund. If you guys want to help these animals out, you're more than welcome to make a donation down here in the Harambe Village at any of those merchandise locations. Now the Disney Conservation Fund, they will be matching any and all donations that are made. That doesn't only help the animals that are here on this beautiful reserve, it's actually going to help animals that are all over the world that might be in need of our help out in the wild as well. You guys have already helped donate to the Conservation Fund today by purchasing a ticket here to Disney's Animal Kingdom. Part of that ticket pricing does go directly towards the Conservation Fund, which is a pretty cool thing that they do here. And as I do pull right back on up here into the village, we're going to be unloading you guys at one of these wardens posts up ahead. As I pull on up here, I'm going to be saying the Swahili phrase, which is Kwaherini. Kwaherini does mean go well. We don't like to say goodbye here in Africa. That's far too sad, far too final. You guys are more than welcome to say Kwaherini back if you'd like. Now's a good time to make sure you guys are gathering up all your stuff. You don't want to leave anything behind. And Asante Sana. That does mean thank you guys so much for joining me out here on Kilimanjaro Safaris. And once again, my name is Cameron. I had a pleasure being your guys' safari guide out here today. Any wilderness explorers on board, you guys are on board the Simba 1. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day out here in Disney's Animal Kingdom.
I think we need to go over there. Because all you're filming right now is crowd.
Very well then. Now that you know your animal sounds, I think we're all set. Watch us, we'll make sure you're cued and ready to go.
Hey everyone, I think I hear them coming.
Wonderful, right on time. On the count of 3, let's use those sounds to call them in. All together now. 1, 2, 3. Everyone.
Hey, I'm just doing what I'm
It is time. And now, I present to you His Majesty, the Lion King.
everyone. It's me, Simba. You've all picked a very special day to visit. You see, today, we've come to town for a big celebration. And you, my friends, are invited to join in the fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get ready to clap your balls, stomp your hooves, and ruffle your feathers as we welcome you to the Festival of the Lion King. Let the procession begin. Emotions here. The show can begin. Hey, what are you doing? Slow down, slow down. I'm supposed to be center stage. Who's driving this thing?
All right, your ass, we're first on the count of 3. Let's make some noise. 1, 2, 3.
Why? I'm in the sheep section.
Oh, I just can't wait to be
Hello? Hello? Look at me! I'm in a parade! Hey, tumble monkeys! Walk me over by the warthog section!
Warthogs, it's your turn. We're going to do some sort on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Warthogs! Where he is. 1, 2, 3.
Yep, it's the lion section, all right. Hey, guys, it looks like we're all here. Let's go!
Since someone has neglected to establish a theater section, I guess that leaves me to sing the melody. So, if you're finished with all that talking, can we start to sing along already?
All right, let's take the time.
Thank you. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, the quiet jungle, the lion sleeps tonight.
I think it's pretty clear. I think the giraffes and the elephants won.
All right, pretty clear. The lions and the warthogs won!
You know what I think? I think it's time to finish the song. My darling, don't fear, my darling, the lion sleeps tonight.
Continuous planning, massively spanning, decades of denial, shit with wine. Respected, saluted, sing over yes, I keep that ambition for them. Be prepared. Come on, let every creature of the broken the hurt on the weekend. It's gonna be a surprise for me. Oh, I just can't wait to be free. No, I just can't wait to be free. Say, you know, I just can't wait to be king, till we king. Oh.
It's only like a 3-degree difference, but I can tell that it's cooler today than it was yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, it's made a major difference, isn't it? Of course, you get a break every now and then with a bit of cloud around today, so it gives you, eases it a bit better.
That we're not all like hot and that we were yesterday.
Not bad, right?
that's the reason that I can bring back a live dinosaur with you. And not just any dinosaur. Take a look at this guy. He's an iguanodon, and I'm certain that he is the key to understanding these magnificent creatures.
I tagged him with a locator during an unauthorized field trip. Otherwise, I'd be traveling with you. Right now, our dino should be about here, at the very end of the Cretaceous period. That's where you're going today.
Now arrived, it seems, just in time to correct a little misstatement.
Dr. Marsh.
That is impossibly close to the giant asteroid impact that destroyed most life forms on Earth. Our tools are designed to take you to the early Cretaceous period. And I can assure you that all time rovers have been securely locked on those coordinates.
Okay,
Yeah?
you're on.
Yeah?
Yeah,
What did I say?
yeah.
You said phone the fan. Because I asked your dad to phone the boat coming in.
Wait, we need to reenact it. You need to film her saying it.
Dale, I thought you would have
Film the boat coming in.
filmed the boat coming in.
But then Chantel wouldn't have a moment of glory.
Yeah, go for it.
Chantel. I bet you want to film the fan turning as well. So interesting. Okay, it's coming in now.
You should have took him.
No Joria.
It knows we're about to go.
Oh look, I can see the bloke driving it. See?
Can you?
You can zoom right in on it. Do you want me to go in closer? I think so. Like that. It's a good job we're here. Yes, director. Oh, we've got to wait for the next one because we was on this one yesterday, or the day before yesterday. We've done this one, so we better wait for the next one to come back, yeah?
Yes, because those two boats are so different.
Oh, absolutely. Got different names on them. Yep. How long is it taking to get here?
25 minutes.
Alright. We're doing alright though, because we left earlier. We've left earlier than we did the other time. We've gone 6 when we leave the train I will not.
There's not one in the station.
I will not. That's a big bus.
That looks like one of the houses I've made on Sims, but bigger.
I want you to name all the Disney hotels and tell me which one that is.
I've got no idea. I know that one's a contemporary. It's Polynesian.
Ready.
Steady.
That's the contemporary.
Copy, ready,
It's the
you are clear, all clear.
Polynesian.
Copy's clear, all clear.
And welcome aboard the Richard F. Irvine. Please feel right in our destination together. On our way, we travel 1 mile on the bed 17 almost 4 years next. We do ask that while on board, the stairs remain clear while public is open. Once again, welcome aboard.
You didn't get this last time because your camera died, so film this.
Rooms on the water.
What?
Oh, that's the Polynesian Hotel.
Yeah. They got private rooms. They've got a cocktail money.
Insinuating we're going to sink?
Yes. To be honest, when everyone was trying to rush to get down the stairs, that was my first thought. My first thought was, oh, this seems like Titanic. Except, like, not as many dead people.
Yeah. Very nice.
West, 1 second, hold on, the boat's gonna hit you. Hold on a minute. Stay right there.
gather all your personal belongings, take all children by the hand and watch your step as you disembark. Those on the upper deck, please use the handrails when descending to the lower deck. On behalf of the crew, thank you for sticking with us.